Great. So now that we have created a Khan Academy account, what we need to do is I want to show you how to create a class on Khan Academy, how a teacher uses Khan Academy, and then I also want to show you how a student uses Khan Academy. So what we'll do is we'll look up as a student. So if you're a student, you would have created an account just like this, and this is actually the first thing that a student also sees. So they're not going to be teaching on here, so I'm just going to get rid of this Khan Academy classroom. And all I want to do is, instead of coaching, which is what they call a teacher on Khan Academy, I just want to go to my home page. So I'm going to click on home here. And this is going to show me my dashboard. So I'm at my dashboard, and again, I want to see what a student sees. So I'm going to click on my learning home over there on the left, and this is going to show me everything that a student can do on Khan Academy. So up here on the top left, we have math, and this is going to be the majority of what you're going to use Khan Academy for, is you're going to be able to look up all these different subjects in math. You can see they have Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, even goes into trigonometry and pre-calculus, which I have no idea how to use those things at all, but I pretty much stick to the basics on Khan Academy in my class. And they also break down the subject matter by grade levels, so they have kindergarten through second, third grade, and fourth grade, and all the way on. And so there are, I believe, 832 different skills on Khan Academy, and only about, I would say about a quarter of them really relate to what we are going to be doing with adult education. So what I want to look at, just for the purposes of this video and to show you what the students are going to see, is I'm going to click on all of math. So I click here, all of math, and that's going to add the world of math for me to look at. And this is going to be, okay, so it's got 858 skills. I was really close. So what I want to do is I'm going to click on Start. And this is the good thing about Khan Academy as a student, is it's very intuitive. It shows me exactly what I need to be doing, and it's never going to be confusing as a student. I'm never not going to know what to click. So all I need to do here is just click on Start. And Khan Academy brings up some practice stuff to look at. It says up on the top, it says mission warm-up, and all I'm doing is I have to do 6 problems here. So this gives me 6 different problems to do, and here's the first one, which looks like some sort of an algebra problem. It says 9 times question mark equals 54. So what I can do is I can put in an answer in this case. So I could say 9 times 6 is 54, and I can check my answer. And if I'm correct, then it'll give me a smiley face, and I can move on to the next question. So you can see I've got a check mark up here on the top left, or on the top right, I'm sorry. And now all I have to do is get 5 more problems correct, and then can be considered warmed up in here. So now we have identify the most reasonable unit to measure the mass of each of the items below. So again, as a student, I might not have ever learned this. I might not know what the difference between a kilogram and a gram is, and I might not understand that difference. So if I haven't learned that yet, there's a few different things I can do. One, I can just click on I haven't learned this yet, and it's going to say, okay, and we're going to move on to the next problem. Another thing that I can do now that we have a new question is I can get a hint, and click on I'd like a hint, and it'll tell me to find the numerator, count the red slices. And then I can click on I'd like another hint, and it tells me that there are 9 red slices. And I can continue to go on until it tells me how to find the denominator, and then that there are 7 slices in this circle, and then it finally just gives me the answer right here. And I can click on 9/7. So we'll enter that in, 9/7. And we'll check our answer, and we know it's right because Khan Academy just told us it was right. And I'll click on next question. If this is my introduction to Khan Academy and I'm a student and I have no idea what a bar chart looks like at all, I can get some hints. I can click on I haven't learned this yet. And lastly, if I'm just completely lost, I can watch a video. So if I click on watch a video, this will actually go over an example of how to create this bar chart. And so I can click here, and it will go through about 1 minute and 7 seconds, which if your students are anything like mine, their attention spans can be pretty short. So 1 minute and 7 seconds is a really good length of time for a video that just explains quickly how to do something. So once we finish with all these problems, there are tons of different things that we can do on Khan Academy. We can search for different subjects and skills, things that are going to be very relevant to what's on the high school equivalency tests and the TABE tests and all the adult education standardized testings that we love to give. So we can search for anything with this one-step equation. Intuition is great. And if I click on that, what it'll do is just bring up one-step equation intuition. And so there's a list of hundreds of these, and the mission is almost always going to be the same. You want to get about 5 correct in a row. And in this case, it says get the first one correct, or I can actually get 5 correct in a row. So either way that I do that, it will consider that I have practiced this subject, and it'll kind of put it in my bank that I've already practiced it. So this is what a student does on Khan Academy, is they can go in and search for whatever skills that they want to search for. They can see, and there's, like I said, there's 858, I think, on here, and there's about, I would say about 150 of them that are really relevant, and it starts, really relevant to what we do. It starts really early with place value and things like that, and then it goes all the way up through advanced algebra. And we've got a list actually started that should be a really good walkthrough of everything that a student will need to do on Khan Academy. So if I'm a student, this is all that I'm going to be able to do, is I'm going to go in and answer these questions. If I don't understand how to do it, Khan Academy will teach me how to do it with a video or a hint. It gives me an explanation of how to do this stuff. So it's really like a teacher right there at my fingertips. One thing that Sal Khan, the creator of Khan Academy, has really found is that students respond to this really well watching a video because, for one, there's not a teacher that's standing right over them watching them do this, so there's no pressure. They're sitting at home. They're able to just watch the video. And if they don't understand, they can always watch it again. Slow it down with Khan Academy, especially with your English as a second language students. You can actually slow the video down to where you can hear them speaking slowly. So if it's hard for a student to understand, English and just hearing English, you can actually slow down the video. And so there's plenty of different tools here on Khan Academy. There's a bunch of different videos, and mostly the majority is looking at these different skills and figuring out, in this case, this is learning algebra. So this is kind of how a student uses Khan Academy.